We're back to the Neil Haley Show here on the Total Celebrity segment. I'm excited to welcome the program. First of all, my co-host, David Shemetsky. David, how are you? Thanks for pitching in today as my co-host. I always have different co-hosts, and I know you're excited about our guests today.
Yeah, so excited. I'm doing well together. Just dropped off my girls, so I know we're going to be talking about girls and strong fathers and strong daughters. So I love it.
Awesome. So tell us about our guests. And again, huge fans of both of them for sure. And people remember them in a lot of different other projects for sure. But go ahead and introduce our guests.
Yeah, no. So today our guests are going to be Robyn Lively and then BartJohnson, we're going to talk about their projects. We've known them for a long time because they've all been in lots of the shows that we've watched and participated in. I can't wait to hear them and hear about this new project coming up.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys stopping by. And I tell you, it's great as a couple to work on something together, right? I think that's one thing that you love about both being in the same field, the ability to work together like this, right? Would you guys agree?
It's great if it ever happens. We've been married for 23 years, and this is the very first project where we've actually shared a scene together. So
yeah,
we've been in like maybe 3 projects together, but we always our characters pass each other, maybe say a line as we're walking by. But this time we actually have a lot of scenes together. So we loved it.
So you're hoping that maybe that'll happen again, then, right, Robyn? Are you hoping that this happens again?
Oh yes, it was so great.
It actually did happen. So it's never happened in 23 years. We do this movie, and then we get cast on 911 Lone Star. We're a couple on that show now. So funny how things work.
Did you see it? Hey, they see it. You guys work so great together. Okay, we'll make sure it happens again. You never know what these things happen and how the universe works. All right, go ahead, David, with your first question.
Yeah, so I'd like to hear a little bit more about the project that the movie's about to launch in August 1st, I think. Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Do you want me to tell?
Of course.
Want me to tell? Okay.
Yeah, it's about your relationship with your daughter.
Yeah, this is a movie where the father gets to have his moment. We're going to follow the father's struggle with his best friend, his daughter, who he's had all these plans with, who's always shown interest in his field, his career, and they had big plans to do this work together and open an office together. And he was so excited about it. And it resonates with me as a father because there's nothing I value more in my life than spending time with my kids. So the idea of me having a business with one of my kids would blow my mind. It'd be awesome. It'd be so cool. Well, turns out in the movie, she has other plans and she meets a guy and they decide they're going to, I don't know too many spoilers or not, but they make their own plan.
Yeah, Dr. Meeker told us about a little bit. So I'll be putting this both all together in my hour TV show, but also on syndication. So when we're talking to Dr. Meeker, we kind of got some of that storyline, so not giving all away, but you could see it in the trailer. So it's good. But, you think about specifically enough. You have as a father having plans like that. Wow, things change like that. It's a big thing, and we're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot about life in this movie, and that's what really the movie's all about: is teaching how to be a better father. Right? You definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. This resonates with us quite a bit because we have 3 kids. In the movie, we have 3 daughters. In real life, we have 2 boys and a girl, and we're trying to figure it out every day. We want to be the best parents we can. We've got our ideas on how to do that. The kids might have other ideas, but we're navigating. We're trying to figure out. Now, in the movie, the kids are just a little bit older. The daughters plan on getting married, which we have a 17-year-old daughter, and we told her that's out of the question. It's not going to happen. We're 17. No boys coming home. No talk about moving away.
No.
That's where we're at.
All right.
Well, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you is really, because I watched the trailer and it says a job of a father is to actually let go of your kids and, that your parents. And that was one of the questions I had for Robyn, because one of her first movies was, Wildcats, and right. And that child was a tough child. And how as a parent now, do you maybe see things differently?
As a parent.
By the way, we talked about that on set when our daughter was, getting all wild and becoming a big problem. It's like you and Wildcats.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. We did.
Yeah. Like Kayla's getting all crazy. I'm like, it's come full circle now.
Yes.
It was Holy Han dealing with you, and now you're dealing with it.
Yeah. And so what was your question? I'm sorry.
So I guess the question is, how do you see things differently? Coming full circle. I mean, that's sort of what this movie is about. There's strong fathers, strong daughters, but you're obviously a mother who also is probably strong daughters, strong mothers.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Thankfully, knock on wood, our daughter has not challenged us the way these girls are challenging us in the film.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, what can we learn from this? How can we learn? But yeah, this has been so great for me to have that kind of like full circle moment of like, doing films where I was the rebellious teen and I'm the parent to the rebellious teen. And now I have children of my own. And Bart and I, we put so much of ourselves into these roles and we've had to navigate even with our own kids. Like we have our certain ideas of how we want them to live their lives but the importance of being a parent first and a friend second, listening to your kids, knowing that, look, we feel like we know best for them. All parents do, right? But we're learning, it's a process. And this movie was really fun for us because I feel like there was some huge takeaways for us as well. And we definitely put our own relationship into this film and the way we communicate with each other. And we made some tweaks in the film and in the dialogue to help with that. So.
And you were glad that you had that ability to do that, right? Especially finally getting the opportunity to work side by side with each other. You want to really bring some of your relationship into the film in this way, if you can. And that
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Because the dynamic, and that was, I feel like what a great opportunity that was, and a unique opportunity, because we had a say in how with the parents, the dynamic between the father and the mother and the father, and how we communicate to each other. I think it's like, there were some lines where the character was a little bit degrading and not bad, but just a couple of jabs here and there. And I was
down already.
Yeah. And I just was like, yeah, I just don't, I would never do that.
She wouldn't do that.
And I don't want to promote that either. So like already they're having odds, the father and the daughter. Why in the world would I create more tension and more problems? Like I just need to help him with this. So anyway, it was great.
So you talked to the director and worked through it,
made changes.
It's not in the film.
Yeah, he allowed me to make the changes, and
so it's very personal. It's like how you would have handled it, how you would have talked to me, and that was really nice. When you do a role like this, you want to make it as personal as possible. Yeah. And so it was kind of funny for us.
You are sending a message. So it's like, and it's really great that they give us the liberty to make those changes as well.
Yeah.
When they do that, they're looking at the best thing for the actors. When the actors have the ability to put their character really into the place and understand things, especially with the experience level that both of you guys have, that makes a better film at the end of the day. The bottom line, I remember as a teacher, I'm a former teacher, and when certain principals would not let me teach the way I wanted to teach and try to put me in a specific box, I'm like, no. Or even as a wrestler, as a former professional wrestler, same thing.
Wow.
You're going to play this character and we want you to play it like this, and say, well, this doesn't really feel like me. And then I found a character later on that was more like me. So it's always good to feel that character. And one question I have for both of you guys, how do you, especially when you have different roles that are really not you, how do you get into that character? How difficult is that process?
When it's really not you, it definitely takes more work. It could take a lot of work. And if you don't put in the work, it feels phony and you're disconnected. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be thinking about it while you're performing. So I think it's all about the preparation, right? So it's doing the work before and finding that part of you, because you can't just make it up. You got to find that within you, right, to make it real. And then if you don't, you're in trouble, right?
I love those roles. I love the roles that are really challenging. I love the ones that are really close to me as well. I always find a piece of myself in each character, but for me, if it's a role that's the complete antithesis of who I am, I'll get the wardrobe ahead of time. I'll put it on, and it's a lot of fun, but it's a whole process.
It's fun to play a bad guy. A bad guy is an important part of the story. You can't tell a lot of stories without bad guys. And the reason actors like to play bad guys is for that reason. You have to find, why is he bad, and the wardrobe and doing the whole thing.
Creating the look is so important.
Yeah.
But I love being a heel more than a baby face in wrestling. When I was hated by everyone, it was such more fun than if you were going as a good guy in wrestling and you're like, man, oh man, I don't want to do this. And this is the days before the Attitude Era when I was wrestling. It was almost that time with Stone Cold and all this, and that the bad guys were, still the bad guys in the South. That changed to the East, and that's how wrestling is. There's really no bad and good. That's too bad compared to the movies we watch where there is bad and good and evil and everything.
Well, it's great having that balance, right? So, and that's what it is. It's that because we hate the bad guys or the bad people that much more, right? You know, somebody who does good, we always expect everybody to do good. But when they do bad, you're like, oh, or something bad happens to a good character, you're always pulling it back. And, if you feel that much more sorrow for them. How do you guys find balance with all the things you're doing, all the projects, and moving those characters, both good and bad, together?
Well, I think it helps that we've been very fortunate. We've been really, really been blessed that we hardly ever work at the same time. So Robyn will do a movie actually, this is a case in point. Robyn just finished a movie shooting in Kentucky, of all places, and I started shooting a movie the next day in Kentucky. So we just swapped out and kept running that. We usually have a little more. We have plenty of actors have downtime, so we have plenty of time together and with our family. But I think we've been really fortunate that we've kind of taken turns with work, so everyone's at home and we're spending a lot of time together. And I think we've had an amazing time. We have an amazing balance that we found.
Yeah.
And how did you make that happen? That's a challenge, right, Robyn, to be able to do that in this industry?
And as you know, we don't really have a say in that. It's like a job comes up and it works out while you're doing the job. So it's really just been fortunate, like circumstances that have allowed us to not be working simultaneously. I mean, we have, but for the most part, it's been so great because I work, he's home with the kids and vice versa. And then we have downtimes where we're together. So it's like our kids have no idea what it's really like. Because it feels like we're always home because this industry allows us to, affords us that, which has been so great.
Movies tend to give us that opportunity a little bit better because a movie's a month or two.
Yeah.
And no, we've never had a TV series at the same time. That would have been the biggest challenge.
That would have been hard.
Honestly, as much as we wanted that, I'm so glad we never did have a TV series at the same time when our kids were young and needed us at home.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, I can't believe, go David, we're almost running out of time. If you have a quick question, one more.
Yeah, I know you've always put family together. I know, Bart, I know you've done some charity work and done some work outside the country. I know in Samoa and things like that. And I'm sure that's some of the things that you guys center yourselves around, that having that faith and guidance to always, center yourselves and your family, it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's really important for us. We have a lot of fun. We like to travel and do a lot of activities, a lot of sports and that kind of stuff. But really, we understand that the most important thing is the serving others and not thinking about yourself. And we really are active looking at with our kids. Yeah. With spending time with your kids, serving others and teaching them the value of service and deepening out your sense of gratitude and appreciation for all that you have been blessed with in your life. And I think that's really been maybe the most important thing in our life is that we've taken time for the spiritual, moments in life and the important conversations to talk about things that really matter and what life is really about and amongst the fun times.
Sure.
And what a great model of a Hollywood couple for sure, you guys. And that's fantastic what you've done and be able to do it. And we can check out the movie. It's August 1st, right? It's available August 1st.
August 1st, only on PureFlix. And then I think they'll have it up forever. So check it out anytime.
It's first original film, which is really cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Someone mentioned
that's amazing. Especially when you see all the commercials and different things out there, what PureFlix has done. Wow, the first original film. So that you're the first. Cool. That'll probably give you a lot more opportunities, more work from that. You never know, especially when they're looking at original stuff, especially when I see, people doing a lot of the work in Hallmark and different things like you guys have done. What if another opportunity, you guys will be very busy, and that's good. That's great for you guys. You get to do what you love and travel and enjoy life. So I appreciate you guys both coming by. So thanks again.
Oh, thanks so much for having us.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
All right, take care, guys. All right. Take care.